Good evening, namaste, and salam alaikum to all our viewers today. We are doing a session known as Casual Conversations, and we have a very, very inspiring friend with us, an inspiring personality with us. He's got so many feathers in his cap. He is an advocate at a practicing advocate at the Bombay High Court, and he's also been assigned as a mediator for by the Supreme Court. He, as a mediator, he brings people together. He resolves issues between them, and he's got a huge, huge background. Whether it's in sports, whether it's in trekking, whether it's taking social initiatives, many, many causes that he is, and he's an outstanding faculty of the art of living as well. So we've got a very pleasing and a very charming personality with us. Let us all welcome our favorite Himanshu Bhaiya.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello and welcome, Himanshu Bhaiya. How are you today?
Doing fantastic. In fact, before we start, I would like to say that, it's like one gem of a person who is introducing. So I'm actually honored, and I'm very, it's my privilege and pleasure to be a part of this live video. And I hope that I could do my little bit and contribute towards everyone. So Hasan Bhaiya, thank you for inviting me here. It's my absolute honor.
I think it's the honor is mutual, and the pleasure is mutual. It's just always wonderful interacting with people like yourself. Thank you so much for being here. Himanshu Bhaiya, you're a very enigmatic personality. You're very well spoken of, and I speak to some of your students your people who know you. They're all very, very fond of you. So I'm very curious to know about your journey into art of living, how it all started, and can you share whatever you wish to share with us about your journey into art of living, and what all do you do, what all programs, and just a number of things that you'd like to share with us, please.
Absolutely. So, as is the case with a lot of teenagers these days, I was also a very spoiled brat, as my entire family gives me an adjective. So, a completely spoiled brat. My mom said, the only thing that probably can fix him is making him do a little bit of meditations, get him to do a little bit of yoga. So, actually, she forced me into the Art of Living program. I did it way back in the year 2006, almost 15 years back. And I really loved it. I thought, that's something that can give justice to my energy, to my intelligence, to my actions, to my motives. And I thought I should continue. So I actually uh, just continued meditating, and I have no clue how I became an Art of Living teacher. And yeah, people do say that, there's a lot that I do, but of course, as always, there's a lot more to achieve, and it's been a good journey for last 15 years, so as to say.
Last 15 years, you've been a teacher for 15 years. So I believe you became a teacher in your teenage years then.
Yeah. I was 19 when I became a teacher. So actually, Art of Living started 15 years back. I became a teacher 14 years before. Just 1 year of me being into Art of Living, I became a teacher, and since then it's a joy ride. I facilitate mainly the youth programs. So I teach all the youngsters how to breathe, so as to say, how to meditate, and how to make life a celebration. So yeah, that's what I've been doing since last 14 years.
Oh, wow, wonderful. So please share some tips on how to make life a celebration. Go ahead. Share some tips with all the viewers over here.
The tip is actually right under the nose. So it's actually the breath. So a lot of people, they do tend to find a lot of things that can really make life celebration, happiness. But I always keep saying that the key is right under the nose. It's actually the breath. So yeah, I've been breathing, doing certain breathing practices, which is very commonly called as a Sudarshan Kriya. I've been meditating since last 14 years, and it's very easy. It's not really difficult. So my inspiration, His Honorary Shri Ravi Shankar ji, he keeps on saying that you don't need to have life as a pursuit of happiness. It's actually a expression of happiness. So yeah, I mean,
Wow.
if you breathe, the it's the life itself becomes the expression of happiness. So I think that's the best tip which I can probably give.
Uh, I think this is very beautifully explained in one line, that life can be a expression of happiness rather than a pursuit of happiness. Very well said. Himanshu Bhaiya, I believe you also, done a lot of, you rallied for a lot of social causes. You've done some amazing work. And one such place that you have rallied was for PETA also. Can you tell us a little bit more about what all you did with PETA? And
So there are three categories of people. One is a pure vegetarian, second is a non-vegetarian, and third is a pure non-vegetarian. So before actually I came into the art of living, anything that moves except for humans, I've had it on my plate. I was a hardcore, die-hard non-vegetarian before I entered. You take the name and I've had it enter in my system. But when I did this workshop, I found out there are a lot of aspects towards eating a plant-based diet. In fact, I would like to tell all the viewers who are a part of this video that there's a very beautiful documentary which is on Netflix, which is called as Game Changers. Yeah, it is made by the athletes, and they very categorically state that how a plant-based diet can be a wonderful thing to have. So I actually did the Out of Link program, and I found out there's something called as the ecological footprint. Yeah, so ecological footprint is a number. So if my ecological footprint is 2, it means all 7 billion people on the planet, they live the life the way I do, then we will require resources equivalent to 2 planets. Yeah. So when I did my ecological footprint, I found out that it has crossed 7, and I was completely shocked. I said, this is not justice to the generations that are going to come up. And so when I researched about it, I found out that non-vegetarian food, it impacts a lot on the ecological footprint. So then I gave up on the non-vegetarian food. I made myself into a plant-based diet, became a vegetarian, and then I said, I can't just be selfish and keep this knowledge to me. I thought it's a good idea to have this spread it. So I was fortunate enough that PETA themselves, they partnered with me. They heard me give a speech at one of the forums, and they were very impressed by the technical knowledge which I gave about the vegetarian food. Not really, hitting the soft points of the non-vegetarians. And then we made a rally in the year 2011. I'm very bad with the dates, so around year 2010, 2011, we had rally. 4,500 youngsters had participated in that rally,
wow.
and out of which almost 3,200 non-vegetarian took a pledge that they will convert themselves into a vegetarian. They will adopt a vegetarian diet, and it was very interesting. A lot of them, they took a pledge that all the colleges in which non-vegetarian food was served, they will go and appeal to the college to have a vegetarian place for them. So that was the rally which was there, and it was very, very successful. It was brilliant.
Wow. So this was in 2011.
That's right. That's right.
And like, if I may ask, for how long was it sustained? Was it sustained for the all the people who pledged to convert into vegetarian food, or what
Oh,
they, yeah, what
oh,
they plan to do in the
absolutely.
college canteens,
Absolutely,
and all? So
absolutely. In fact, we also made a report on the basis of it, which we had a 3-year plan. So for that, we had the 3-year plan. So for 3-year plan, I won't say that all of them could convert into vegetarian, but there was a data set that almost 43% of them were very successful. So they decided,
that's
okay, we will go to the canteen and not order anything that is non-vegetarian. So
this is
finally, to get the
incredible.
profits, the canteens had to come back to. In fact, one of the very famous canteens in Pune, there's a college, ILS college. Yeah, so that college canteen person, he had actually stopped serving non-vegetarian food because nobody was willing to order it from. So like this, there have been a lot of cases that was there, and it was pretty nice.
So you must have been the popular as well as the most unpopular person for that canteen.
Oh,
The person who
absolutely.
creates the huge shift and all this.
Absolutely. In
Wonderful.
fact, I had even got threats from a couple of people that if you do something like this, it will not be a good sign and all of that. So yeah, I mean that's
Oh,
all the part and the parcel. So
wow.
unknown
And
people
how
had
did
given
you?
me threat.
Oh my goodness. But you were still successful at the end of 3 years. If 43% people stuck to the place, that means I would call this a very, very successful movement as well. Great. Well done.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on that
Fortunately,
one.
my mother is into crime branch, so then I said, okay, come along, no
Oh,
problem. On a
oh,
lighter
so
note.
we see Himanshu Bhaiya also comes from a very well connected family. His mother is the crime
Oh
branch.
yeah.
So you guys, whether or not you like this conversation, you can't mess around with him at all. You know what his background is now. And like I
Actually, I
said,
come from the
yeah, go ahead.
so I come from the family of lawyers. My mom and dad both are lawyers, and my mom serves for the crime branch. Dad is a president of Rotary in Pune. So yeah, so that's where
Wow,
I come from.
awesome. That's really, really wonderful.
Thank you.
And how has your art of living practices? Now, you said you are also a lawyer and you come from a family of lawyers, and you are a practicing lawyer in Bombay High Court. Um, I'm sure you're a very, very successful lawyer from the people that I speak to, and you seem you're a very successful lawyer. So, does did you do you think the breathing techniques, the meditations, pranayams have also had a role in making you a successful lawyer? What would you attribute your success to, even in your professional life, in your career? What would you attribute your success to?
Yeah, I beg your pardon, Hasan Bhaiya, but I would just cut the word also. No, I on a very serious note, I was age 25 when I actually it was the first time that I stood in the Bombay High Court in front of the Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court, and it's actually Bombay High Court is a very face-driven place. So you need that maturity on the face to stand in front of all the honorable judges who are there. I was just a 25-year-old, and I said, "Ki, let me give it a try. Max, what will happen? I may fail." So I went inside. I did the argument for almost 50 minutes, and it was so nice that even my opponent lawyer, who happened to be a very senior lawyer, he appreciated that at such young age, how could there was so much of clarity in my arguments, in the way I spoke. So definitely, I would say that if you ask me very very technically, the breath plays a very important role in just cleansing the mind. I think as we always say, like we brush our teeth for dental hygiene, the breath is for the mental hygiene. So definitely the breath, it played a huge impact in the way I thought. Many a times it does happen. There are a lot of things that happen here, but when it comes to action or speech, there's a lot of filtration that happens, and then you wonder, oh, why did I not speak that? So I think the meditation played a huge role in my success at this age. I run two firms, one in Bombay, one in Pune. I also do a lot of art of living trainings. I also happen to be a grade A mountaineer. So I'm a certified Nehru Institute of Mountaineering mountaineer. I've had few expeditions under my belt. So a lot of things I totally attribute it towards my journey of meditation and breathing and the art of living techniques, that so as to say.
Wow, wow, this is really wonderful. And I believe you also taken art of living training programs for people from the army background. For yeah, please tell us more about that.
Yeah, so when I graduated from my law college, I had this thing in my mind that I wanted to serve the nation. And I had a thought in my mind that the only way I could do that is by serving for the Indian Army, by being into defense. But little did I know that there are even a lot of things that I can actually do to serve to the humanity, to the society. But then I always had this thing in my mind that, somewhere I'm missing the army life and, all of that. I was just fascinated by the whole thing of it. So there is one very central communication in army, which basically takes care of the north as well as the south. So that is the main thing. I mean, it's the main communication line, and the people out there are very stressed. So, I mean, for them it's a like the little mishap or little miscommunication can make hundreds of life just at stake. So I actually I started with my own training company by the name Vision Verve at age of 21. And it so happened that one of the retired major had attended a training at Maruti Suzuki in Pune. And then he asked, you're doing such a wonderful thing for the corporates. Why don't you do something similar to the army? So that's how actually it started. And then
Wow.
later on, the CEO, Major Shukla, Lieutenant Colonel Shukla, we became such good friends that I said, what I teach is not even 2% of what Art of Living offers. So that's how in the year 2013 we started with the Art of Living programs, and nearly every year almost 70 main cadets are taught the Art of Living program in a very secretive manner, for us to say, and it's still going on. So yeah,
Wow.
that's the thing that goes on.
It's it's brilliant. It's remarkable that at this age, at your age, it's so much of enthusiasm. You're accomplishing so many things. And by the way, you still look like you're 25. You haven't crossed that age at all. Just and you have the fitness of a mountaineer. Your fitness speaks about what you just mentioned about being a mountaineer. And I'm sure, like the now, what I loved about the army programs that you're doing is that the army personnel are already expected to be at the peak of fitness, and still you go and value add over there. That is really beautiful. So I guess the art of living courses, they offer something to everybody, no matter what is the level of fitness, no matter what is the profession, what they are doing. It always value adds to what somebody is doing over there. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, I'll just
Um,
add a little to this, if I may.
yeah.
So way back in the year 2009, when I did my 3 years I did my 3 years of the breathing, the meditation techniques. I had gone to one expedition, which is called it was a unexplored peak, which is called as Joan D. So what had happened is we were a group of 15 people, in which there were 4 civilians, one cook, and the rest of the 10 people were the army men. Yeah, and of my age itself, around 21, 20, 21, 22. So it so happened that there was a snow blizzard that had come. Yeah, and in snow blizzard, the density, temperature, everything drops down drastically. Yeah, and the pressure is so much that the person immediately gets into hypothermia. There's a technical term for it. And I'm very proud to say that back then there were only 3 people who had not affected, who didn't get affected at all with the hypothermia. Two,
Wow.
one was the cook, who was a local person. Second was the Sherpa, he was also the local person, and third one was me. So actually,
Oh
we
my
three
God.
were were serving. So I also actually was awarded with a silver ice axe as an honor. So I was actually serving the medicines and food and everything. I was termed as Yoga Baba because even at that height, I used to do my meditations and my practices. So they all used to wonder,
Wow.
what is he doing with the oxygen mask on his face? So yeah, that's exactly what I used to do.
Wow.
So it is
So
amazing. It is crazy.
wow. So even at those heights, you demonstrate the height of fitness that yoga and meditation can bring. So there also,
That's
wow, so beautiful, so awesome. Bhaiya, you've also done some work with, you've done some social work with regards to reviving the Mullah Mutha River.
yeah,
And obviously, everybody can say that this is the need of the hour. Our rivers are drying up. Our rivers are polluted. The are actually the beauty of the city. The city is so much more beautified by rivers. I mean, there are so many cities that don't have rivers, and this is what they miss. So for a city like Pune to have a river, but then if it is not taken care of, so thanks to people like you are stepping in. Tell us a little bit more about what all you did over there.
absolutely. I had gone to one of the conferences in Delhi, which was called as NALSA. So National Legal Services Authority. It was a law conference in which few people were invited, and I was fortunate to represent the Art of Living Foundation at the NALSA Center. So there, it was a very alarming thing for me to hear it, that they say that if ever, well, God forbid it should not happen, but if ever there is a World War III that happens, it will happen only because of water crisis. Yeah.
That's true.
So in South Africa, there have been cities who are absolutely dry. I mean, people are vacating the city because there is absolutely no water left. The wells are drying up, the rivers are polluted. So it's a very scary situation. And it so happened that I used to speak and hear and think a lot about it. Of course, all of us we see on Facebook, that how the fishes are caught with the nets, and all these things. So they say that one small centimeter, so one centimeter by 1 centimeter piece of plastic has the capacity to kill thousands of fishes. Yeah, because then the small fishes, they consider it as food. The big fishes will eat the small fish, and it goes on. So I then decided, ki, what am I doing? What is it that I am doing at my end? So Art of Living offers another very beautiful program, which is called as DSN, Dynamism for the Self and the Nation. So there we took up this initiative of reviving the rivers. So of course it is a very slow process at a very nascent stage, so as to say. But then what we have done is we have started with awareness. Since last 5 years, there have been thousands of people who come to the river bank and they actually pick up the trash. Yeah, they pick up the trash, put it in the garbage thing. We have tied up with the Pune Municipality Corporation. There are many companies like Infosys, there is Tata, who have joined us in this initiative. They have one of their days as a CSR activity where their employees, they actually come, and it is more of awareness that me throwing one piece of paper on the road is going to affect millions of people, species, living beings around. So that the first stage of our project is awareness, and then second stage onwards we have planned out for a drainage system. There's a lot of things that are basically into the planning. So now the step one is awareness. So I'm building a lot of awareness, and fortunately it's been very successful that people are becoming aware with this whole project. I'm very happy to share on this platform.
Wow. And I'm hoping that after listening to you, more and more people become aware of this, about keeping our rivers clean, keeping our, yeah, environment clean, about being bothered about our water bodies. I really hope that we can take this further and more people join us, join you in particular to, or join the Art of Living, which is taking up this movement. And it will be really nice to have not many people who are aware of our environment and the importance of our rivers. Great, great listening to you so far. And I'm not going to let you go
I
slow.
would just like to add one thing. It is so amazing that of course, because of the whole Art of Living platform, we have been able to reach to more and more schools, and it is very touching to see that the kids, the seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th standard kids are so sensitive about this entire thing, that there have been kids who go home and teach their neighbors and parents that why you should not throw plastic on the road, in the river. So that's one thing which I really want to add and appeal to everyone, that definitely educate the children, because I think they are the ones who are going to have the future.
Wow, brilliant. So first you spoke about the PETA and what all you did for animals. Now you've spoken about what you did for the rivers, for the environment. You have also done something for Mother Earth. I believe the Mission Green Earth.
Yeah.
That was also a very highly successful movement by the Art of Living family, and which was led by you. So
Yeah.
please tell us a little bit more about accomplishments of Mission Green Earth. What was it aimed at, and what all did it accomplish?
Yeah. So I would say the birth of this project was the mastermind of the master, His Holiness Shri Ravi Shankarji, that he soon realized that it's very important to plant many trees. Again, the statistics say that one human being in his entire lifespan of average 60 to 70 years, he breathes oxygen, which is equivalent to 16 trees. So it is actually we are consuming oxygen with 16 trees in your entire lifetime will emit. So actually, it is our responsibility in our lifetime to plant 16 trees. So that was, I think, the main source, the initiation of this project. And Shri Ravi Shankar ji, he appealed to the entire globe that millions of trees to be planted. I'm very happy to share that the target was to plant 1 million trees, but till date, 4 million trees have been planted in India. And out of which I am again very proud to say that 30,000 trees have been nurtured and taken care by in Pune. There were many more planted, but the 30,000 trees are what have been nurtured and taken care of. And one plant which I would like to mention is the Lakshmi Taru. Yeah, so that Lakshmi Taru plant was planted. It was nurtured. There were many places where it actually there were many builders, the construction workers, and companies again who took the pledge of planting and taking care of the tree. And there was a concept called as adopt a tree. So every person he gave a name for the tree. So if I gave a tree a name as say John, so my tree's name was John Nagarkar, and it was my responsibility to take care of John as if he's like my son. And
Wow.
many people, many, I mean, I can't even count, thousands of people, they loved this concept. Children, so many children actually took the saplings home and they took care and nurtured that plant. So it was a huge success, and I think that's one thing which we all must do, planting 16 trees in our lifespan.
Wow. So there we go. That was actual a good mathematical equation. Like, I mean, everyone plants trees, but to know that 16 trees we have to plant in our lifetime, so that because it's kind of offsetting what we've taken from the planet, it's offsetting what we've taken. And oh, thank you so much for enlightening all of us. And I'm hoping all our viewers, even if you go by the rate of one tree per year, I think you have the 16 years, and then you can nurture them, you can look after them. And like how Himanshu Bhaiya said, if you name your tree, it just brings that sense of attachment. I mean, this is such a human thing to do. It's so brilliant. It's so nice. Great. So, well, you've done something for the waters, for the trees, for the animals, and one particular project which really interested me a lot was this whole movement known as Drug-Free India, a movement for the people. So, for animals, for trees, for rivers, for plants, but this movement for people. I'm so curious to hear about this. Tell us more about Drug-Free India, please.
Yeah, again, it actually goes back to uh, my pre-days before the art of living. Unfortunately, I was into a lot of substance. I picked up smoking at the very tender age of 13. I picked up alcohol at the very tender age of 14, and those 5, 6 years, it exponentially increased. And by the time I turned 18, I had started playing a lot of snooker, pool, smoking almost 25, 30 cigarettes a day, uh, consuming liquor almost 5 times a week, and it was a mess. It was not really good. And I thought that that's life. Look at me, I'm so cool doing that. But little did I know that, that's not only hampering my physical body, but that's also hampering my mental state. Substance, it eats up the mental space. If a person is creative, the substance will eat up his creator. If a person is intelligent, it's like a BMW car with a lot of dust on its windshield. You can't really drive. So that's something which was a very not so nice thing. So once again, my total gratitude towards His Holiness Shri Ravi Shankarji, and also two more people I would like to mention here. One is of the film fraternity, Sanjay Dutt, who also had a history of drugs. Badshah, one of a very popular singer, and there were few more people who came together and they decided that the youngster millennial age, as what we call, to make them absolutely drug free. And I was very fortunate to lead this in Pune. So we went to Pune University, And in Pune University, we had a very big function wherein the Vice Chancellor of Pune University, the Registrar of Pune University, and the Security Council, all the student welfare committees, everyone came together. And then they pledged that, in their lifetime, they will be absolutely drug free. And then a lot of them further pledged that, they will pledge to make India a drug free India. So that
Wow,
was something which
so
was
beautiful.
a good
This is
process.
really amazing to hear. This is really, really, Himanshu Bhaiya, you had such a interesting life from you covered so many you had a very colorful life and an interesting life and so many facets to your personality. And like you said, from somebody who picked up cigarettes at the age of 13 and 14 to somebody who is actually training the youth in colleges and universities how to live a more fulfilling life. Wow. I want to hear about the programs that you do for the youth. And if you can also share some experiences of youth that you had and you've seen the transformation in their lives as well. I mean, you're seeing the transformation in your life and you've spoken about it. Thank you so much for your sharing. And have you seen such similar transformations in the life of other youth as well? Can you please share with us?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, I would like to tell all my viewers that Art of Living offers a very interesting course, which is called as the Yes Plus program, which is a youth empowerment and skills workshop. This program is specifically aimed for the people aged between 18 to 30. And since last 14 years, I've had the privilege to impart these courses in one of the top institutions in India, including IITs, IIMs, XLRIs, Symbiosis, and many more. And I've also been the Apex teacher. I mean, there is an Apex program for the companies, and all the new recruits who join the top companies, this program is offered to them to as a part of STAR. START program is what is called. So this program basically covers a good balance of IQ versus EQ. Yeah, the intelligent quotient as well as the emotional quotient. So the research says that it is 13% intelligent quotient versus 87% emotional quotient that makes a person successful. Yeah, be it his academic success or a professional success or business success, an entrepreneur, whoever it could be, it is 87% the EQ. The research says that, Harvard, Stanford, recently research has been conducted even by the AIMS, the All India Medical Association in India. So this program has a very unique offering, which is called as a Sudarshan Kriya. And this is something which I've been teaching a lot of youths. And recently, it did happen in one of the IIT colleges that, there was one girl who came and she said that, there has not even been one single day in my life where I have not touched heavy substance. She said cigarette and liquor is just a by the way thing for me, but I have abused my body like anything since last 5 years by being heavy on the heavy drugs. Yes. So she did say that, during the span of doing the Art of Living program, she was very easily inspired not to touch any of the drugs or be of that sort. So yes, there have been amazing transformations that are there. One life transformation is right there in front of you, and definitely this program has a lot of potential to make person from mediocre to being into
Wow.
excellence. Is what I
Wow.
can say.
Really wonderful to hear all the beautiful work that is going on and that all the work that you've been involved in. But yeah, what is your message to all the viewers, in particular to the youth? What is that one message you want to put out to all of them? How they can enhance their life? How can they make their lives more productive, more fruitful, and more worthwhile, and more? It's like I believe life itself is a gift. So how can one really live that gift in such a way that you express your gratitude to the creator, you express gratitude to everything that's around you? What is your message towards all of
I would just say one thing: be busy being happy, and be happy being busy. So
them?
that's one message which I would like to give all the youths, that that our 10% of life is never ours, it is only for the others, for the humanity in general. So the more busy you are being happy, the more happy you will be being busy. That's the message
Wow,
which I think I
that is
can.
so beautiful. That is so brilliant. And one last question I've got for you is like, you really have done so much, like, whether it's training youth, training people from the army background, whether it's rivers, whether it's tree plantation, whether it's animals, whether it's drug free India. Where do you get your inspiration from? What inspires you to keep moving ahead? And I don't think so there's anything stopping you. Like, you are also a lawyer, you're also you're a family person, you've got a very loving family, you're just so well rounded. And so where do you get your inspiration to continue this beautiful work that you're doing?
No, I would just say that, it's just a drop in the ocean. The real ocean is my inspiration, which is His Holiness Shri Shri Ravi Shankar ji. He has been a phenomenal leader, a person who is, living by the words that he say, in every sphere of humanity, be it farmers, to the corporates, to the politicians, to the prison inmates, to small children. He is there everywhere. I'm very proud and very humbled to say that, Art of Living has its presence in more than 160 countries because of this one man. Yes, His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar ji.
Wow.
So it's
Wow.
it's just that, when you look at person who's there, the only agenda of his life is to spread happiness and smile. So that itself, the I think the enthusiasm catches enthusiasm. So he's been enthusiastically working for the humanity. So it's I think my work is just
So
a small drop in the ocean.
so brilliant. So awesome. So, guys, we've seen the number of projects that Himanshu Bhaiya has led, the number of projects he's been involved with, and yet I can say that all the projects that you heard are only in one city known as Pune. And he says he's driven by the inspiration of Shri Shri Ravi Shankar ji. And Shri Shri Ravi Shankar ji, there are projects in cities and countries and continents immeasurable, innumerable. So I mean, we are really blessed, and we are really blessed that we have somebody who's leading from the front and who creates leaders like Himanshu Bhaiya and many such other people in different cities. It's such a big blessing that we have. There are so many forums to interact with Shishi Ravi Shankar ji, whether it is on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, whether it is his live meditations that he's been taking, whether we're just, it's such a big blessing to have such a great humanitarian amongst us. Well, I wouldn't want to let Himanshu Bhaiya go, but yes, he's a lawyer, and I really, really want to thank him for sharing his time, sharing his wisdom, for and I wish him for all the best for all the wonderful work that he does, for all the projects that he's got. May more and more people get inspired and join this movement known as the Art of Living, which is spreading good work everywhere. Bhaiya, thank you so much for spending your time and sharing your wisdom with us.
Thank you so much. In fact, I would really like to extend my thank you to Hasan Bhaiya because such initiatives are definitely required to spread the positivity. Yes, the internet, I guess today's internet is filled with a lot of things which are not really useful, are may not become such a developing factor for a person. But I think such initiatives, such platform helps people inspire. They all say let's move together. So I would like to thank Hasan Bhaiya for this initiative, and I'm honored to be a part of this. Thank you so much.